God is precise.
Well, it's not just gas prices sending consumers into shock. Russia and Ukraine supply nearly a third of the world's wheat. And since the invasion, exports have come to a standstill, meaning shoppers could also see a spike in prices for things like cereal and bread.
This third seal, Revelation 6 and 5. When the Lamb opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a black horse. Its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. Then I heard what sounded like a voice among the four living creatures say, £2 a week for a day's wages.
Oh, Christian, businesses are noticing a number of products costing more, especially wheat. Now, we spoke to the owner here at Bagel Cafe. We spoke to the owner, and he tells us he's trying to navigate these costs while keeping prices down.
A 50-pound bag, we used to get it 16, 17, now it's up to $21.
And 6 pounds of barley for a day's wages, and do not touch the oil or the wine. But the interesting part about the wheat, that specifically it mentions wheat, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages. I just read the article the other day at how Russia controlled, it was either 25% or 50% of the world's wheat. It was a large percentage amount.
Just to give you an idea, Russia currently has the third largest oil supply in the world and supplies 1/4 of the total wheat supply.
And they said that what they're about to do is they're about to cut the world off from giving the world wheat, because of obviously the world has been trying to put sanctions on them for going into invade Ukraine. So check this out, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages. The Bible is precise. And then 6 pounds of barley for a day. Oh man, this is so good. And do not touch the oil or the wine. So I wanted to go through a few of the prophecies that we see unfolding before our very eyes. We've seen a little bit of the mark of the beast, right? And it's definitely coming back. You know, you've heard of the digital access passes and how you're going to need certain access to this, how it'll have maybe your health records, it'll have your dental records, it'll have your credit score and your credit cards, your banking information, account information. You've heard of these access passes. And so we believe that all this will, we believe it's definitely coming back, and it's going to come back in a major way. And we're hearing of wars and rumors of wars, right? We've seen a little bit of a famine, nothing too heavy yet, but it's definitely coming. And we definitely have heard of the food shortages, and we see those coming as well. And now it looks like World War III is right here at our front doorstep. And I wanted to go through a few of the prophecies that appear to be unfolding right before our very eyes. I first want to start with the seals being broken in Revelation 6. And I want to tell y'all how I came to this conclusion that the seals would be broken in the first 3.5 years is that it says in Revelation 7 that God's holy people are sealed or protected from the trumpet judgments and the bowls being poured out. God's people are protected from the major destructions that come, and it says that in Revelation 7. In Revelation, let's jump so we don't for the sake of time, let's jump past it. Let's jump to Revelation 7:2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried out with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So he cried out with a loud voice to the four angels who was given power to hurt the earth and the sea. And look what he said to them. Do not hurt the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of God. And then it goes on to say that it sealed 12,000 from all 12 tribes of Israel. It's so insane to me that we keep talking about this one tribe of Israel, Judah, but we never talk about Manasseh, Naphtali, Levi, Simeon, Issachar, all these other tribes that God is saying for a fact are going to be sealed. Benjamin, it says for a fact that they're going to be sealed as well. So where are they at right now? Where are these other 12 tribes? But we'll get into that some other time. But the point is that God said, before you harm, listen to this, before you harm the earth, before you harm the trees and the sea, seal my people. So before you drop the trumpet, because listen to this, right after this is the trumpet judgments. So after that, right in Revelation 8, it goes right into the trumpet judgments, right? The trumpets being sounded. So before the trumpets are sounded, God's holy people are sealed, all 144,000 of them, along with a multitude from every nation, every tribe, and every tongue of them that cannot be numbered, that cannot be counted, right? So look at this. Let's go to Revelation 6 real quick and 2, because I want to go through a few of the prophecies that appear to be unfolding right before our very eyes. I think this is so good. Please, I think this is so good. Y'all think this, y'all gonna really be blessed by this. Look at this, Revelation 6. And I look, and there before me was a white horse. His rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror built on conquest, right? So we know the spirit of conquesting and conquering is on this world, and it's on this nation, right? This nation does most of the conquering and conquesting, right? Whether that be, what was it, Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, whether that be they tried to conquer Venezuela, whether that be so many other nations from Iraq to Iran to Afghanistan to Vietnam to South Korea, the list goes on and on, to Taiwan, the list goes on and on of the amount of places that this nation has tried to conquer. Now, many people might say, well, Russia is over there trying to conquer Ukraine right now, and Belarus and Poland and all the nations that used to be a part of them. And I'm not gonna fight you or go or say you're wrong in saying that, right? And Syria and all the other different nations that are being conquered. But the point is that the spirit of conquer is on the world right now, right? Would you agree? Would you agree? I do agree. You agree. Okay. Revelation. So I'm saying that prophecy is unfolding before our very eyes. Look at Revelations 6:3. Look what happened with the second seal. When the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard a second living creature say, "Come." And then another horse came out, a fiery red one. Oh, this is one of my favorites right here. I did a whole video on this. And this rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. To give, and to him was given a large sword. So the rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. A war, civil unrest, battle, right? Take peace from the earth. Like I always talk about the civil unrest and how America, I haven't seen the racial tensions, and not just the racial tensions, but the tensions amongst all people, even white people amongst white people. I haven't seen these tensions. I don't think it's ever been like this since the Civil War. Right? I say you go to a restaurant, try to get good service right now. They mess around, flash on you in the restaurant. Anywhere you go, watch how you see people driving. The driving is at an all-time high. I don't know if y'all seen the video of the dude in Florida. He took out his gun, started shooting. Road rage is at an all-time high. All of it is that the peace has been taken from the earth. Not just here in America. This is worldwide. It's like this. Maybe it's because many of them got that. We ain't gonna get into that, right? They go ahead and turn up the frequency on it and they start going crazy, right? But we ain't gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that. The point of the matter is that peace has been taken from the earth, and that's without question. You can see that everywhere, right? You can see that everywhere. And then on top of everything that I've always expounded on about the civil unrest, now you actually see a war. Because he said they said that that peace was taken from the earth to make people kill each other. So people are killing each other. I don't know if you've seen, just here in Vegas, we've seen the videos of the kids at school fighting, but not just fighting, they killing each other. I'm talking about kids that normally wasn't killing, you know what I'm saying? Now they kill, I'm talking about young kids, you know what I mean? Like young, I'm talking 11 and 9, bringing a knife to school and stabbing each other. I'm not talking about, some of these in high school, they've been doing this, at least in the hood, they've been doing this for a long time, but I'm talking about even younger than that, right? And even the women killing each other. Peace has been taken from the earth. I don't want to go too deep onto that, but y'all see the war now, right? Y'all see the war going on now too. That's people killing each other, right? Now listen to this. In this third one, this is a very interesting one. I tell people about this one all the time. This one is inflation. And this is the one I say I always felt like we was coming into this one. Famine and inflation is what this one is talking about, this third seal, Revelation 6:5. When the Lamb opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a black horse. Its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. Then I heard what sounded like a voice among the four living creatures say, 2 pounds a week for a day's wages, and 6 pounds of barley for a day's wages, and do not touch the oil or the wine. Do not touch the oil or the wine. I don't know if y'all remember when they shut us down, the only things that were still open was the gas station, and you could still go to the liquor store. Do not touch the oil or the wine, right? The oil or the wine will not be touched. But as you can see right now, I'm saying as far as like they ain't gonna destroy it, right? But as you can see right now, the food is being destroyed, right? And it's about to be 2 pounds a week for a day's wages. Oh my God, I want to get into that deep. That's what I want to get in that part right there deep. God is precise. I remember when I first heard this, 2 pounds a week for a day's wages, I always interpreted, and we can interpret it to say that God is talking about many other foods besides wheat. Maybe he's also talking corn, and he's talking all of the food is going to have, there's going to be a high price for the food, right? It's going to because of the inflation, right? So it's going to be a high price for the food. The food is already going up, but we talking about an extra nominal. They say for a day's wages. So let's just say, I don't know, a day's wage probably 150, 200. So let's say it's going to be, it's going to be a couple hundred just for one of these things. But the interesting part about the wheat, right, that specifically it mentions wheat, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages. I just read the article the other day at how Russia controls, I want to say it said something like 25%. Y'all don't quote me on the number. It was either 25% or 50% of the world's wheat. It was a large percentage amount. Meaning that, and they said that what they're about to do is they're about to cut the world off from giving the world wheat because of obviously the world has been trying to put sanctions on them for going into invade Ukraine.
Putin has officially ended the 50-year-long petrodollar system. How? Well, what if Russia and China had been secretly planning this attack for years? They knew that by invading Ukraine, they would eventually be sanctioned and cut off by the SWIFT payment system. And that might have been their plan all along. In response to this, Russia can now shut off oil, gas, and wheat from Europe and the rest of the world. Just to give you an idea, Russia currently has the third largest oil supply in the world and supplies 1/4 of the total wheat supply.
So check this out, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages. The Bible is precise. And I'm gonna put the video in to show that so y'all can see what I'm talking about, right? And then 6 pounds of barley for a day. Oh man, this is so good. And do not touch the oil or the wine. Revelations 6 and 7, the fourth seal. Let's get into the fourth seal, right? All these prophecies appear to be unfolding before our very eyes. And I just wanted to go through a few of them because I've heard so many people talking about these different things. And I just think it's very interesting to see them now right before I've been. And one of the things I always talk about is I said, everybody had faith until everything became real. So you had faith in the Bible and you had faith in the word, and you love Christ. And you said, oh, I love Christ and I love Jesus. And you said all that until the word became flesh and walked among us. Do you see what I mean? We all just like the, he says, oh yeah, I love the Lord, until the word started walking right among us. It's like, I don't know if this is really what it said. I don't know if this is the mark. Now you don't know. Your whole life you heard that it was going to be something you have to take to buy, sell. And now that it's right here in front of you saying, I don't know if this is the mark. You see what I'm saying? You had this strong faith. And now that it's become real, you have taken the back seat from the faith. That's why many will turn away from the faith in the end. Y'all know I've done a video on that. And I was telling y'all that it's not the lies that's making them turn away from the faith, but it's the truth. Seeing the truth is making them turn away from the faith. Revelation 6 and 7. When the Lamb opened the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth living creature say, come. I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Oh, goodness. And there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death and Hades and was following close behind him. There was given power over 1/4 of the earth to be killed by the sword. So 1/4 of the earth is about to be killed. Didn't Bill Gates give a number on that? Didn't Bill Gates give that exact same number? He said, if we can just get rid of 1/4 right of the earth, he said, we'd be all right. Isn't that what he said? Right. That's why that one guy that said, the guy that wrote the book, The Pale Horse, he said, I don't know if they following Revelations to the T. He said, I don't know if they intentionally just trying to follow the prophecies or if it's actually happening. Because he said, Bill Gates said, remember Bill Gates said, I might have to find a video. He said, yeah, we can just get rid of 1/4. That's what he said. Right. And there's right here in the scripture saying that they were given power over 1/4 of the earth to be killed by the sword, famine, and plague. What? So war, food shortage, famine, inflation, whatever you want to call it, and plague. What's a plague? C-19 is a plague. I don't know if y'all know that. That's a plague. A plague is a disease that covers the whole earth, and everybody is dealing with it. That's a plague. Right now, I personally don't know, we ain't getting that all the time. But that is a plague, right? That's a plague. So 1/4 of the earth to be killed by that. Well, and it says by wild beasts of the earth, right? Which is the nations, the wild nations. This is so good. Oh, this is so good. So what is going on, right, with this war with Russia? What is going on? Because I've heard so many people say that this is the Gog and Magog war, which it is 100% not. And I'm about to prove that in a minute to you right here. Just using scriptures, you go to Revelations 20 and 7, and you'll know that this is not the Gog and Magog war because the 1,000-year reign with Christ has not come yet. So this can't be the war, the Gog and Magog war prophesied in Daniel, as Daniel or Ezekiel, one of them. It can't be that war because the 1,000-year reign with Christ hasn't come yet. So this is about to be a world war, but what world war is this? What is about to happen? What is this? How, why, and how is this going to be a war? World war, Revelation 18 and 2. With a mighty voice he shouted, fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a dwelling place for demons and a haunt for every impure spirit and a haunt for every unclean bird and a haunt for every unclean and detestable animal. She has become a place for all these things. Wow. I wonder why all these things are going to become unclean and impure. I wonder maybe they're going, if you want to make something cleanse, you know, when you normally cleanse something, you cleanse it with in the blood of Christ, right? So we normally get cleansed in the blood of Christ. So our blood getting mixed with his blood, and our DNA is changed, right? Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying, right? So if you want to make some unclean, maybe you just change his DNA. Maybe you put some different blood inside of it. Maybe you to make it impure, to make it be not what it was, you just change his DNA. MR. That's okay. I ain't got time to get into that with y'all, right? So this war that's happening right now with Russia in Ukraine, which I can get into that deep, and I do get into that deep in my last message that I just gave. And I don't know if y'all see it, if it'll come out before this or not, but it's called Prepare for War. And I talk about where Ukraine, that country, what it is historically and what's actually going on over there, right? That's a whole nother story. But what's going on right now, how this all is going to play out, or at least eventually will play. It might not play out this very same moment right now at this second, but this eventually will turn into that. Whether it's with Ukraine or whether it's with another war, Russia will bait America into a war. This is about to happen. Or America is baiting Russia into a war, however you want to say it. And eventually America gets involved, and then China gets involved. And when China gets involved, all of America's allies is going to get shaky. I keep telling y'all this. Y'all don't want to believe me. Y'all don't hear it. Y'all can't see it, because y'all don't know that America's Mystery Babylon. If you knew America was Mystery Babylon, you'd be at the White House right now crying and praying to Joe Biden saying, please don't ever get involved. And as you see right now, he's saying he ain't gonna get involved, right? But I can promise you the day he get involved, Babylon is surely gonna fall very soon after that. Because once China gets involved, America's allies are going to get shaky. France is going to get shaky. Italy is going to get shaky. All the rest of them, her allies, is going to get shaky. And you have to remember that they already are envious of America. Let me get you to Obadiah 1:7. All your allies will force you to the border. Your friends will deceive you and overpower you. Those who eat bread with you will set a trap for you, but you will not detect it. I believe Ukraine is a trap. I believe Ukraine is a trap. Oh, Lord, I believe Ukraine is a trap. I'm telling y'all it's a trap. Revelation 17 and 15, because I want y'all to see something. Then the angel said, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, languages, and nations. The waters you saw where the prostitute sit, the Statue of Liberty sitting right out there on the water where the prostitute sit are peoples, multitudes, languages, and nations. So, okay, this is the lady, right? This is the prostitute. She's the prostitute is a beast too, as well, right? The beast and the 10 horns you saw hate the prostitute. Oh, okay. So this nation and the 10 horns, which are also 10 nations, because there are 10 kings who haven't been given a kingdom yet. So this beast, this nation, along with 10 other nations, hate this woman. Name one nation right now in the end of the world right now that everybody hates. Name one. Name one that every country in the whole world hate. Well, I can name one besides America, but I get in trouble and get banned for saying it. Right? Well, I'll just tell the truth. Israel, right? That's the only other one that you could really name. Right. And that you can, nobody don't write me or text me or tweet me. You can go to the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which is a Jewish organization, which has an article put up. Maybe I have to put it up just so y'all can see, that said that the United Nations is anti-Semitic, basically saying that all the nations in the world hate Israel, because the United Nations represents all the nations in the world. And the United Nations constantly votes all the time to have the Jewish people in Israel leave that country. The United Nations votes all the time, with every nation voting against Israel, saying that those people have no birthright to that nation. They do this all the time. They did it under Trump. They haven't voted yet under Biden, but they voted many times under Trump and under Obama to get those people out of that country. This is a fact. United Nations, the General Assembly, and it would always vote in favor of making them leave. But remember, the reason why they never had to leave is because they got America to vote. Is a veto vote. America has a veto vote. So America could vote for them, and then all the rest of those votes don't even matter anyway. Right? Oh my God, listen to this. Look, Revelation 17:50, continue. The beast and the 10 horns who you saw hate the prostitute, so they hate this woman. They will bring her to her ruin and leave her naked, and they will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it in their heart to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over over to the beast their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled. The woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. That's why many people, like I said, because it's really Israel, but I'm telling y'all, this is America, right? Because no matter how you want to look at it, even Israeli Israel rules over America and rules through America by the ruling the rest of the world through America. And that's just a fact, right? That's just what it is. Leo is lying. Leo, no, really? Right? Go look it up, right? I mean, I don't know why we at the end of the world, we still got to have these miscellaneous arguments that don't make no sense. This is factual truth, right? This fact, I got the videos of President Nixon I done put in of Nixon telling you this, the president of the United States, duly elected.
The 500 hours of tapes released today showing what one historian calls Nixon's own dark view of how the world works, where the enemy is not just the communists, it's also the media. Listening in agreement is the Reverend Billy Graham.
This stranglehold has got to be broken or this country is going to go down the drain. Yes, sir. I can't ever say it, but I believe.
Revelations 19 and 19. Then I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to wage war against the rider on the horse and his army. The rider on the horse is Christ, right? The rider on the horse is Christ. But the beast was captured, and with it the false prophet who had performed signs on their behalf. With these signs he had deceived those into receiving the mark of the beast and worship their image and worship the image. So they worship the image of the beast. What is the image of a nation? They worship the nation. I say this all the time, that Black women worship America, but especially Black feminist women, they worship America. They worship its image, right? The image of America. Oh, this is how I want to look. This is how I want to get married. That's why they got mad at me for talking about how Israelite men could have multiple wives, because they worship the image of America. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying? The image they put in front of you. The image they put in front of you is the image you worship, the image you love. That's what you ascribe to be. But God, that's why God said he's going to destroy those who receive the mark and who worship the image. Look who took the mark. I don't know a feminist who didn't take it. I don't know a liberal Black feminist who didn't take it. Look who took the mark. Okay. So I know what I'm saying is 100% factually from the Lord. They worship the beast. They took the mark of the beast, and then they worship its image. Facts. It is what it is. And they're going to take the next mark that come. They're going to take the next one. The chip and all that, with all that stuff, they're going to get a passport and all, they're going to take the next one. You watch and see. The rest were killed with the sword. The two of them were thrown alive into the fiery lake of burning sulfur. The rest were killed with the sword coming out of the mouth of the rider on the horse. Rider on that horse is Christ. And all the birds gouged themselves with their flesh. This is so good. This is so good. So this is not the Gog and Magog war, but this is the war of Joel 3:1. This is the war of Revelations about the destruction of Babylon. And this is the war that is that comes into the destruction of the nations as well. So the destruction of Babylon, which means that the destruction of the system of Babylon, which means that, the government, the nuclear power that they have, the military, United States military, the power that Babylon has will be destroyed. I'm just telling you what it is. Take it how you want to take it. Just say, look, you don't want this Jesus, do you? I bet it sound different now when he cracked the sky now, right? Hey, what are he coming for, right? He said he coming to rule over the nations, right? Look, I'm going to give y'all some deep stuff in a minute. That's about to, some of y'all is not about to be able to handle these scriptures. I'm about to drop real soon right here. But listen to this, let's go ahead and prove this is not the Gog and Magog war, Revelations 20:7. When the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out and deceive the nations in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, and gather them for battle. In the number, they are like the sand of the seashore. Right. And if you go read about the Gog and Magog war, I can't think of what chapter it's in. Y'all forgive me on that. I think it's either Daniel or Ezekiel. But if you go read about the Gog and Magog war, right, it talks about that Gog and Magog are going up against Israel. Right. And it said that the people living in Israel were gathered back from all the nations of the world first, and then put back into the land of Israel. Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened where they were gathered back from all the nations of the earth by God and put back into the land of Israel? Right. And I don't even want to get into that deep right there, because some of y'all are just, y'all just too slow. I don't even want to get into it deep. You know what? If you believe they are who they say they are, please keep worshiping them. I'm not even trying to save y'all no more. I'm not going to be like Lot no more, trying to save 10, trying to save 100. No, you keep worshiping, and in a few days, you'll be gone anyway. So we don't have to worry about this no more, right? We just going to give y'all truth and let the truth set you free. For y'all that know that they not it, because they not it. They not who they say they are, right? I done showed y'all video after video after video after video to show that. To prove that, right? A message after message, book after book, source after source.
They just came out with a new DNA study by Dr. Ilan Elhaik of St. John's Hopkins School of Medicine, one of the most distinguished schools in America. He's Jewish. He says that there is no Jewish people, that all of the Jews in the world came from the Khazars and such. Now, there have been other genetic studies on this. In other words, no one living in Israel today has ancestors who came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Not even from black scholars. We ain't got no scholars, right? This is from their people, right? Genesis 15 and 13. So who is this war being fought over? Genesis 15 and 13. Know of a surety, thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve will I judge, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. These are the prophecies that are being unfolded before our very eyes, or at least appear to be unfolding before our very eyes. Now, I told y'all, and many even the Israelite pastors and preachers and teachers disagreed with me that this 400-year prophecy was being fulfilled right before our very eyes. When I started talking about it in March 2020, I said, man, out of nowhere, 400 years ended, literally 400 years ended in March 2020. And so pretty much you got 2019, you walked into 2020 and the world ain't never been the same. The world has literally never been the same, ever. And the Bible says, and if you read it in Acts 7 and 6, which I like it a little bit better in Acts 7 and 6, it just plainly says it out. And God spake unto the wise that thy seed shall sojourn into a strange land, and that they shall bring them into bondage and entreat them or mistreat them evil 400 years. Listen to this. And the nation of whom they shall be in bondage will I judge. Judgment. How long is judgment? 7 years, right? We know that in second Esdras. And it's also in Daniel. It's in many other scriptures to show that it's 7 years, 7-year judgment. Right? And so God says that the nation that they was in bondage, or the nation that mistreated them, shall he judge. So he said he shouldn't do judgment, the 7-year judgment, the great tribulation, the 7-year tribulation. And at the beginning of this 7-year tribulation, what I was showing you in the first 3.5 years, the seals are being broken, which is Revelation 6, what I just read for you guys about the first seal, the second seal, the third seal, the fourth seal. And then there's going to be a fifth, and then a sixth seal. And then it said, God said, wait, stop. And that's where Revelation 7 comes in. And he said, wait, first seal my people. That's why I told y'all that you haven't seen that the first seals were going to be broken in the first 3.5 years. That's why I knew we was going to see something crazier happen during these times that we living in between now and 2023, about September-ish 2023, which would be about the midpoint of this 3.5 years, was why I knew we was going to see something crazy go down, because the seals was going to be broken. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good, right? So where am I at? So what is this war being fought over? So I gave y'all the 400-year prophecy in scripture that says that it was going to be a people mistreated for 400 years. And then literally 1619 to 2019, you walked out of 2019 and 2020, and the world has never been the same ever again. And by all accounts, every person on the planet, even white pastors, say that America appears to be going through judgment. So wait a minute. So this 400-year prophecy is just a coincidence that it happened 400 years and then judgment happened? Or is this scripture happening before our very eyes? And are you ready to hear yourself to God's laws, commandments, and statutes and say, yes, these are God's holy people, and we messed up. And maybe I need to turn now and start blessing them. Remember, God said, you bless them and to bless you. Maybe you need to turn now and start blessing us, and start blessing the wrong ones, start blessing us and cleave to us and join to us, as the scripture says in Isaiah 14:1. You better join and cleave to us. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to my new exclusive content page at leodunsonministries.com. You can also go to leodunson.com and hit the subscribe button, but that's leodunsonministries.com. Thank you so much, and may the glory of God, his blessings, and his purpose be upon you. Shalom.